Okay, so we have the new update for Fire Emblem Heroes. And of course, this is your boy Tacho. But I was not expecting this to happen tonight. So I'm doing this a little bit impromptu here with the coverage. So sorry if it's a little bit later than normal. I was thinking this update was going to come tomorrow night with the banner. But I guess they decided to just release it right now. So we have the refines for the units that are getting them. And we also have the stats for the Halloween units. As well as some more info on Ena, who is going to be our Tempest Trial prize. So let's just jump right in, and we're going to go ahead and start things off with the refines. Okay, so we got refines for both Saias and Arvis. Shoutouts, of course, to Link King Owns. I'm sure he's going to be very happy with this Arvis refine. But basically, they have the exact same refine. Not sure why they couldn't give them, like, some kind of difference to at least give them some separation, but whatever, they both get the same refine. So, at the start of turn, inflicts attack and res -5 on foes within 3 rows and 3 columns centered on them through their next actions. And it also grants bonus to their attack equal to the total penalties on the foe during combat. So Broadleaf Fan, very good. And then attack and res -5, also very good. Before this refine, these two had to do the ploy effect. So they weren't able to debuff the foes unless they had more res than them. But they completely threw away that restriction, and now you're free to just debuff all the foes with attack and res -5, as long as they line up in 3 rows and 3 columns. So very easy debuff effect, and it's only going to make them even stronger with the Broadleaf Fan effect they have. Pretty solid refine, but once again, I wish there was some separation between them. Maybe give one of them the Blade Tome effect instead of Broadleaf Fan, just to make them feel a little bit different. But I guess it is what it is. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about Effie. And I'm actually really excited for Effie because she was my first plus 10 unit in the game. Shoutouts to all the free-to-play crew that went ahead and made Effie one of their merge projects. So Effie is my favorite of the free-to-play mergeable lance options. She has this crazy high attack stat, and then she was always very good for scoring in Arena because she's got the armored BST. So I've been sitting on this plus 10 Effie for a long time, and I haven't really been using her all that much anymore. So now that she's getting a refine, that's going to be very good. And her refine at the start of combat, it's going to grant her attack up 6, as long as her HP is above half. And also, during her first combat in the player phase or enemy phase, she's going to inflict attack and defense -5 on the foes, and also neutralize their bonuses to attack and defense during combat. So, lull attack and defense 5, pretty insane for an armored unit to get that. Typically, armored units are not allowed to inherit lull skills, so very good that she can have this. And you wouldn't have to sacrifice Flowing Lance from the Pirate Geese in order to gain this effect on her. It's only going to be active for her first combat in either phase though, so you're going to want to make sure she's only doing 1 fight per turn. Still though, very solid, and also the attack up 6, very solid. So I am happy with this Effie refine overall. Alright, next up we have Rhajat's refine. Obsessive Curse, effective against cavalry foes, and inflicts speed and res -5 on foes within 2 spaces during combat. Oh, that's pretty similar to Darge's Hex, actually. I think Darge's Hex does attack and speed -4, or it might be -5. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've actually looked at what her weapon does. But I guess it makes sense for her to have a similar weapon to Darge. And also, after combat, if unit attacked, deals 7 damage to target and foes within 2 spaces, and inflicts status on those foes, preventing counterattacks through their next actions. Alright, basically it's just Kemp's weapon thrown onto Darge's Hex with the debuff effect that she gets. Pretty solid. Of course, she's going to be able to make use of the debuffs herself, as well as support her allies with this debuff, because they're going to be able to make use of it too. But I will say, though, one bad thing is that she's still 5-star locked. Like, come on, does she really need to be a 5-star exclusive at this point? There's so many Gen 1 and Gen 2 units that could just die to have a demotion at this point. But, I mean, I don't know. When it comes to Insist, they just like to troll us constantly. I would totally love to build Rhajat if she was a 4-star summon. but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon, especially since they completely took out all the Gen 2 stuff from the summoning pool. So not only is it hard to get merges on her, but it's just hard to get her, period, at this point. So yeah, I guess it is what it is. But I mean, whatever. Hopefully they just do a big demotion for some of the characters for the next upcoming anniversary that we get. But we'll see. And finally, last but not least, we have Sigurd's Refine. So Divine Turfing grants Res up 3. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is above or equal to half, grants attack and defense +5 during combat. And if foe uses magic, reduces damage from magic foe's first attack by 50%. Also, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is above or equal to half, grants attack and defense +5, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. Oh, okay. Alright, so he gets quick repost and attack and defense +5 for a better HP requirement than quick repost. Okay, that's pretty good. And what's really nice about this is that now he can have quick repost as well as his unique B-slot skill, and you don't have to sacrifice his Sacred Seal to do it. So pretty efficient refine for Sigurd. He's basically getting attack and defense +10 and then reducing damage from magic foes' first attacks by half, and he gets quick repost. So pretty good for a bait unit like him. And also, I think Salif has access to this refine too. Not that he already didn't have a good refine, because his turfing has the built-in miracle effect, which is just dumb in Aether raids, but of course, it's nice to have other options too. And a lot of people gave Salif distant counters, so if you want him to bait, then this is actually a pretty solid weapon for baiting. Not too bad for Salif, but once again, I do think he wants to stick to his miracle effect. Alright, so that just about covers us for the refines, so let's go ahead and move on to the Halloween units. Alright, so we're going to start things off by taking a look at Grima. And Grima's stats are 40 HP. She's got 40 attack, 17 speed, 37 defense, and then 38 res for a total of 172. Pretty strong for a flying unit. And of course her weapon with that built-in distant counter and also the crazy sustain effect that she gets, similar to Brave Claude. This is going to be a very good bait unit, especially seeing her stats now. I did not expect her speed to be such a crazy dump stat. Of course, the only comparison to her was going to be Legendary Grima. And the Legendary Grima is not even close to being as min-maxed as this. She has all these points in speed where I guess she doesn't even really need it that much. It's nice to give her the option of player phase, but like, you typically want her to bait, I guess, and she can't really do it as efficiently as this new Halloween Grima can. So hopefully we start getting refines for those OG legendary heroes soon, but if not, I mean, this is going to be pretty embarrassing to say the least. Alright, let's move on to Dheginsea's stats. Alright, so Dheginsea's got 45 HP, 45 attack, 14 speed, 41 defense, and 39 res for a total of 184. Okay, of course this guy was going to be a giant stat ball. I expected that much, but I didn't expect him to not have a perf weapon. So once again, just like with Grima, this guy has a total dump stat in speed, so he can just pump up some more points into his other stats. They've been doing this like non-stop lately, where all of these tanks just have sky-high attack and defense and res, and then speed is abysmal. I mean, how much longer until we start seeing units with like 10 base speed and possibly less, like 9 or 8 or whatever? Because like, why not at this point? If they're just going to be as blatantly obvious with the dump stat thing, they might as well just fully commit to it. But who knows, maybe for next gen that's what they'll start doing. Otherwise, this guy is crazy good with his stats. The only other unit that I would compare to him is Brave Edelgard, who is another giant stat ball. So at the very least, they made Dheginsea still feel pretty powerful with his stats, even if they didn't give him a perf weapon. Alright, let's move on to the harmonized hero. So Tiki and Ninian, 39 HP, 39 attack, 42 speed, 32 defense, and 25 res for a total of 177. Oh, snap. Do they actually have the highest BST for flyers now? Or, hold on, I think I made this mistake before. Who is it? I think it's, what's her face? Lilith, right? I think Lilith has the same BST, but I could be wrong. I'll have to double check. But regardless, crazy high BST for Tiki and Ninian. And of course, they have tons of attack and speed, so they can go ahead and player phase. Their weapon is very biased towards dealing a ton of damage, so they totally want to have a lot of attack and speed so they can pull that off. So very nice stats from them. Alright, let's move on to Xane. So this guy has been the talk of the town lately. His weapon effect is really cool, where he can just steal the stats of all the allies that are within 2 spaces of him. So his stats really don't even matter, besides HP, of course, because that's the only thing that he can't copy. So he's similar to Ditto from Pokemon in that regard, where he's copying all the stats of the foes besides HP. So that's what Xane reminds me of. Okay, but he's got 47 HP, 30 attack, 34 speed, 25 defense, and 30 res for a total of 166. Doesn't really matter, but wow, they really gave him a lot of HP. I was thinking they were going to just gimp us and give him like a crazy low HP stat, like maybe, I don't know, 40 and less. But they actually put it in, and they gave this man 47 HP, coupled with the +5 that he gets from his weapon, and then all the other things you can do with him, like give him summoner support for another +5, or you can give him some flowers and merges to raise his HP even more. That's pretty much the only reason why you would want to give him flowers or merges, because otherwise he's just going to steal the stats from everyone else. So it's not completely useless to invest in him if you want to. This is what they really need to start doing more on these future seasonal banners. I would just love it if every time we get a demote unit they have some kind of cool gimmick like Xane. And we don't really know exactly how good he's going to be yet. We still have to use him and try him out for ourselves before we can actually pass judgment on him. But just from reading what he does, I think he's a cool unit, and I just want to see more stuff like this. Like, just more things that are unique, instead of the same old that we've had on every banner. So that's about it for Xane, and finally we have Ena, who is our Tempest Trial prize. And she's got 44 HP, 36 attack, 23 speed, 37 defense, and 36 res for a total of 176. Wow. Okay, that's pretty good. She also has a super boon in speed as well. Not that it really matters, but if you have that super boon, you can jump her up into the 180 BST scoring bin. So she can score just as high as Flame Emperor. So we have another super good scoring unit for free to play. And she's also infantry too, unlike Flame Emperor that's stuck as an armored unit. So she doesn't have to worry about effective against armor damage, and she's going to be able to move a full 2 spaces every turn. So just looking at her stats, I mean, this Ena is going to be a very good merge project for a lot of people. So very nice that they gave us another scoring bot like the Flame Emperor that we had. And if we take a look at Ena's weapon, she has Pale Breath Plus, which is 14 might and 1 range. And if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack and defense +5 to unit, and neutralizes unit's penalties to attack and defense during combat. Now, unfortunately, they didn't give us Dheginsea's weapon effect, where he does lull attack and res 5. That would have been so good if they gave it to Ena as well. Sometimes they like to do that with these seasonal weapons and give us a free copy of the main banner weapon on the house. But this time around, they gave us a Carrot Cudgel weapon for the breath units. I guess it's still not bad overall, because, I mean, how long has it been since the last time we got a breath weapon that was inheritable? I think it was actually Christmas Fa with Glittering Breath. We've been so overdue for breath weapons, so I guess it's nice to finally start getting them. And anyways, Ena also comes with Swap, Defense and Reslink 3, and Ward Dragons. So Defense and Reslink, not too shabby for inheriting, if you want to fodder her off for some reason. And Ward Dragons too, that's not too bad. It's not quite as good as it used to be, because of course we have Close Guard and Distant Guard now, which basically just grants the same effect to all your units regardless of any movement restrictions. The only downside, of course, is that those are locked to what weapon types the foes actually have. But you don't really see the ward skills being used all that often anymore. Also, joint drive skills kind of replace them too, so there is that. But it is nice to finally have Ward Dragons as a free-to-play option if you want to deck out a Dragon Cube and just go ahead and give them all Ward Dragons. And the final thing that we have to talk about today is going to be our prizes for the Tempest Trial. So our Sacred Seals this time around are going to be Brazen Defense and Res, and Attack and Defense Solo. So 2 pretty strong Sacred Seals. Brazen Defense and Res, not a bad combo for gaining stats if your HP is a little bit low. And Attack and Defense Solo, finally, they decided to throw us a bone and give us another Solo Seal. Hopefully they don't make us wait too long to get Attack and Speed Solo. But anytime we're getting these Solo skills as Sacred Seals, it's going to be very good. They're all just super powerful, and I've been using the Speed and Res Solo Seal all the time on my Ike. So it's going to be nice to have another one of these as an option. But that's pretty much all for the update tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed the coverage, even if I was a little bit late on the uptake with this one. Also, let me know in the comment section how you feel about the new refines and which one of the units are you most excited for. For me, like I said before, it's definitely Effie because she was the first plus 10 unit that I made. But I am also excited for Sigurd's refine too. Can't wait to start using that guy again. It's been a hot minute since I've done anything with him. But anyways, that's all for tonight. So this is your boy Tacho signing out. Thanks so much for watching the video and supporting the channel. And I will catch you guys again on the flip side.